205 hours. That is how many hours of sleep you would gain if we were to start school at a later time. Sleep is a vital part of our everyday lives, and being deprived of it can be detrimental to the human body and mind. The Board of Education requires that students be at school at 7:50 a.m. precisely, Monday through Friday, and be constantly taught for almost 7 hours each day. After the day is over, most students are encouraged to either work on or participate in extracurricular activities in order to stay busy throughout the day. After these students are done with these activities, they usually come home with multitudes of homework that they have to complete before the day is done, typically at 11:59 p.m. After these assignments are finished, the students have very little time to eat and do whatever they need to prepare for the next day. They continue to repeat this cycle for 4 more consecutive days and are expected to have assignments turned in on time, have perfect attendance in class, and maintain good grades, all while being encouraged to challenge themselves with honors courses which require a more intense workload. Not only do they expect too much from the students when they have so little time, but they discipline the students whenever they protest these heavy hours and intense workload. How many of you have rushed to school because of waking up late and ended up having a terrible overall day just because you didn't have any time to get organized for the day ahead? All of this can be changed if we started school at a later time in the day. For the past 11 years of my life, I have argued that school should have a later start time, and after extensive research on the topic, I found that many researchers and somnologists agree. The Board of Education would see a great benefit to starting schools at 9 a.m. instead of 7:50 because of improved academic performance, more sleep, and better overall students in and out of the classroom. First of all, lack of sleep can do a number of things to your body when it comes to functioning properly, and this can affect academic performance. A study was done on teenage kids, each having activity trackers. Kids that attended schools with later start times showed improved grades and better attendance. With all of the workload put on the students, some feel a lot of pressure and stress buildup, and this causes students to burn out mentally. This leads to worse academic performance, which directly affects the Board of Education, meaning it's a lose-lose situation. Another thing that affects the students, especially in high school, is circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm is the physical, mental, and behavioral cycle that your body goes through in a 24-hour period. Children, especially teenagers, have a set circadian rhythm that they operate off on a day-to-day basis. Unlike younger kids, adolescents don't feel prepared and ready to go to bed until about 10:30 p.m. at night, as going to bed earlier would disrupt their circadian rhythm. If students are naturally going to bed at 10:30 p.m. every night, on top of all of the homework and extracurricular activities that they have to do, that is simply not enough time to sleep in order for their bodies to function at optimal levels during the day. If students had a later start time in school, this problem would be eliminated, as they would have a lot more time to prepare themselves for the day ahead. Next, the obvious benefactor to starting school at a later time is getting more sleep. According to Johns Hopkins pediatrician Michael Crocetti, who's an MD, teens need 9 to 9.5 hours of sleep per night. With all of the extracurricular activities and honors classes that I have mentioned that usually require homework each night, it is more than likely that students won't get the recommended amount of sleep, even though it is reinforced at schools that heavily encourage getting involved in these activities and harder classes. More sleep can have many benefits to the human body as well. Speaking of extracurricular activities, the correct amount of sleep allows the body to restore and repair itself, which in turn benefits the immune system, muscle recovery, feeling less sleepy in the daytime, and boosting athletic performance, which some extracurriculars require. Overall, starting school at a later time would show lasting benefits to the student body. Lastly, not only would the students benefit from a later starting time, but the teachers would as well. Lack of sleep causes the students to have many negative side effects. And some of these behaviors reflect in the classroom. As you are probably aware of, being deprived of the sleep that you need causes your mood to worsen. This causes a higher likelihood of kids acting up in the classroom, as sleep deprivation is shown to cause anxiety, depression, irritability, stress, and an overall lack of motivation. Students that often act up in the classroom are more likely to behave if they get the recommended amount of sleep. This will in turn create a better teaching environment and allow the students to get the absolute most out of their education. Better students doesn't just mean that they are better in the classroom, but out of it as well. Students that aren't getting enough sleep can even be a danger to others. Not getting the recommended amount of sleep will lead to drowsiness and unsafe driving. 1 in 10 car accidents are caused by drowsiness, and out of these accidents, 27% of them involve teenagers. Lack of sleep causes students to be a danger to themselves and others on the road, and as the statistic shows, it can be the cause of permanent damage. Overall, the need for a later school start is quite evident based on the current academic performance of the students, the amount of extra sleep that they would get, and the better behavior in and out of the classroom. Students should not have to put up with the Board of Education expecting so much out of them with such little time to recover. Later start times, as I have said before, would greatly benefit the students and teachers, as well as keep the students much more safe. I'll end this speech off with a couple of questions. Let's be honest with each other. Why do we, as a student body, allow the endless homework assignments and early school start times that the Board of Education forces onto us to be valued over the well-being of our physical and mental health? Will a little extra sleep kill us? The lack of it already is.